Welcome back, and we're joined by Amar Kaul, Global CEO and Managing Director at CG Power and Industrial Solutions Limited. Great having you here, Amar. First off, really appreciate you coming in pre-market to kind of give us this clarity on what's playing out. This 748 crore capex, Amar, let me start with that. Just quickly clarify this for us. You had already announced this at some point of time in the past. Is this just to suggest that you've inaugurated the facility, 748 crore of capex done, or what's playing out? Give us a sense first.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me here. Yes, it's a combination of that. Last year around September timeframe, we had the board approval to go ahead for about close to 800 crores of investment for switchgear. And this is the first phase of that we have already executed. So what we made the announcement to SEBI as well as to the stock market was that the first phase has been done. I think what is important here to see the speed of execution. So approximately 6 months we are up and running, and that's what we did yesterday, inaugurated the facility. We had a lot of customers come in there, and the commercial production has started.
Amar, hi, morning. Interesting that this sector is now so much in focus because of the kind of capex that's been put in, the kind of capacities which are coming in, and the the bottlenecks which is primarily in T&D, and your capacity building here helps in debottlenecking there. But give us a sense of how big is this going to be for you, the switchgear business, and the kind of opportunities that it brings in for you.
See, in terms of numbers for switchgear, for example, this inauguration that we did yesterday and commercial production started. So our circuit breaker capacity is increasing from 9,000 to about 16,000, so which is almost 80% increase in the capacity. But this is just the beginning of it. It's phase one. It's going to be multifold in terms of capacity. I'm not allowed to give the specific, in terms of revenue or rupees, what numbers are there, because we don't declare separately for the power business. But it's just the beginning of that. So it's going to, I think this is a step forward towards supporting the government and Atmanirbhar Bharat, and making sure that we are accelerating on that journey.
How do you see the opportunity? Means what are the kind of opportunities that we are looking? Because there are a couple of HVDC tenders which are going to be open, and some are already open there. Is that also you will be part of that, and it allows you to bring in come in that tenders as well?
See, it's a HVDC only is a fraction of it. It's a part of that. I think the market is pretty big. So HVDC, if you see, is specific to, we don't directly get into those tenders because HVDC is a very different technology. We are, of course, the R&D and development is happening on that as well. But there's still a big chunk of market that is available, and that's what we are focusing on right now.
Amar, give us the timelines. You suggested that this has come in far quicker than expected. So it was expected, in terms of the execution, was expected over a period of 33 months. And the capacity was expected to go up from 9,000 to 18,000. Was it a doubling of capacity? You've done 80% of that roughly in 6 to 7 months. Is that what is really standing out? Is that what you're kind of underlining?
Not exactly. Some bit of it is correct. So like 33 months was from the date of when we got the board approval, when we made the announcement, which was September approximately last year, 2025. And from there was 33 months to complete the whole project. And this phase one was supposed to get completed in about 18 months. And I think the team has done a wonderful job in executing it in 6 to 7 months itself. So 50% faster in terms of the lead time and what we are trying to do.
Yeah, that's substantial, right? Right. Give us a sense on how raw material prices are playing out in the market, Amar. I'm tempted to ask you that. Of course, the acceleration in with regard to your capacity coming on stream is one thing, but is raw material price hurting you at this point?
Yeah, see, raw material prices is, of course, that becomes in the commodity inflation. So none of us control that really. So I think important is how do we keep on our processes, on our, inflation that is happening? How do we ensure that we are taking care of it in advance? So some of the long lead items for customers, we have a price variation clause. So that takes care of it depending on where the raw material goes. Second, when we get larger orders, we actually block that immediately to make sure that we don't have the negative impact because of the commodity inflation. So I think it's a day in and day out kind of work that the teams are doing.
Right. The other piece, Amar, is the fact that out of the current capacity of 9,000 that you had prior to 4th of June, of course, you were on 85% in terms of capacity utilization, or above 85%, to get your words, to get my words right. Give us a sense, the 7,200 addition, at what capacity utilization does it operate at right from the get-go?
So this calculation is at 85%, and I think it should reach in the next 3 to 4 months. It should be able to scale up. So September is the time frame that the team has committed. Should be able to go to 16,000 units.
Amar, give us a sense of the other products or segments that you're trying to enter into. You mentioned that you're working on the HVDC side as well. That's a big opportunity which is coming in. Semiconductors is another way where you have already entered, and you're looking at some 6,000 odd crores coming by FY30, if I'm not wrong. How do you look at the new verticals which are coming in and the scale up which is coming in there?
So yes, I think to the core of us, CG as a group, a part of Morgapa Group. So technology innovation stays at the core of us. So if you look at some of the new technologies that we are trying to bring in, of course, one is the capacity going right up to 800 kV. Second is also right now most of these breakers are SF6. So the technology development is happening on SF6 free gas, which is more environment friendly as well. So that development is happening as well. And then we are going in a big way into the power electronics, which is the need of the hour, with more and more of AI thing coming in, data centers coming in. So power electronics becomes important. And for us, as a power business vertical, which is transformer and switchgear together, and also on the other side, industrial, we have railways. So there's a lot of work happening on the power electronics. So that's one of the focus areas for us as well.
And how are you looking at the transformer capacity? You're trying to almost double there as well. Do you expect that to be completed in this calendar year?
Yeah, just stay tuned on that. We are not announced it yet. So, but I think the teams are doing a wonderful job. So stay tuned on that. The moment we have more confidence on where we are. But yes, the acceleration is happening there as well.
I'm asking this because the street is very enthused by the kind of additions and the new verticals that you're entering in, and a slew of upgrades have come in for many of you in the power electrical sector. How do you look at the entire capex plan within the sector and for you over the next 5 years? Because the kind of renewable which is getting added, the kind of targets which have been set, it seems now that T&D has to catch up with those targets.
Yeah, see, capital allocation for us is a very, very disciplined process. So it happens specifically to which is the area. Today, if you see, almost we have the capex of 2,000 crore plus is already happening in CG, whether it's greenfield or brownfield or the capacity expansion of the existing plant. So, which is reasonably good. And it doesn't mean that we stop there. Depending on how the business case is, it has to pass through different gates. And we definitely take those funds on that as well. Number one. Number two is also NPD, new product development. So you'll gradually see our percentage of investment in new product development, innovation will keep going up point by point, year over year. I think that's the commitment that we have for the market, for the customers, that we'll keep doing all that. So there's no specific question whether it's semiconductors, whether we invest in power, we invest in industrial or any other new vertical. It is case to case basis, depending on the compelling reason which area we have. So the teams are actually working on all these business cases on regular basis. So there's a process set up there.
And sorry, last off, Amar, with regard to the 748 crore capex that you've put out, how much of that is already incurred? How much yet to go? And funding largely internal accruals?
So it's a combination of all. So I think if you look at our balance sheet and our P&L sheet, so we are fairly cash rich, which we have there. We raised a QIP about 3,000 crore a couple of months back. So that amount is also sitting there. So there's a structured process. So it's a combination of all. So we are cash rich right now for this particular project, we spent 40 crores already, which is purely internal accruals.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming in and speaking to us this morning. Of course, crucial in terms of additional capacity. You know what really stood out for me?